Hey guys, or hi guys, I don't know if that cut me off. Um, we're back again, second part
Fan
or
Trolls Part 2.
Antrals part 2 or part 3, depending on if I had to break up that first video.
Yeah, yeah.
Because 20 minutes is kind of a hefty time. Okay,
Decent amount of content, though.
we left off at capture modus. Let's just move straight into luci.
Yeah.
Every troll has a luci, which is their parent. It's what raises them. It chooses them after they go through the grub trials, and then they arise to the surface of Alternia, where they build a home together through the use of construction drones, and they live there for the rest of
Existence.
majority of the child's life.
Depending on where you're at in the timeline for your trolls.
Fair point.
Which begs the question, I wonder if the way they got their lusus would be any different as well.
What do you mean?
Just like before the rebellion. So I wonder if that was any different. Determining who your lusus was, because there were adults at one point. I wonder if they had any other ways of doing it. Because the whole basis for Alternian now is basically having the strongest breeds of trolls for her Imperial's army.
Right.
And that would make sense for, the caverns and the trials and everything to make sure they could survive and everything. So I'm wondering if before then, if she had anything else set up, or before her, if anything else was different.
I don't know, just more research for us to do. Okay,
But,
so
aside from that,
the luci. Right, the luci.
They're always white.
No
matter what,
they're always these
white.
white and gray creatures.
Which it makes sense.
They live underground.
Yeah, they live underground, so...
Okay, anyway. So, keep in mind that whatever gender your troll identifies as, we'll just say because of my headcanon that they're all hermaphroditic, whatever gender your troll says that they are, is the same gender as your lusus.
Unless you're acquiesced and you name it Arthur. So, I mean, I guess technically...
Arthur's referred to as a man, so he's a man.
Yeah. I mean, I was just saying, I guess technically you wouldn't have to have your trolls say, like, Crab Dad or, Dog Mom or anything. You could have them just give them names.
You could just give them names, I suppose. But anyway, so, right. Always the same gender. Keep in mind, the lower blood color you are, it's a general rule of thumb for your lusus to be not something all powerful and ridiculous if you are a red blood. Aradia had goat love.
Although Crab Dad seemed pretty dangerous, in all honesty.
Crab Dad was a joke.
I mean, yeah, it was still a joke, but I mean, on comparison to other
Crab
people's...
Dad's a joke. I mean, Seahorse Dad's not very dangerous in my opinion.
There's that one too, Seahorse Dad.
Who knows? I mean, look, these guys, these are my personal rules from after reading the entirety of the comic.
And Hussey doesn't give a shit, so...
Hussey doesn't give a shit, and going back and rereading, I think that every canon troll breaks one of these rules at some point. At least
Basically.
one of them breaks one of these rules at some point. Like, Theffery is not very
Non-violent.
violent for the highest blood possible. But I digress. Regardless, keep your lusus not so powerful if you're not so powerful. Make your lusus stronger if you're stronger.
Etc., etc.
Etc., etc. Durst or Prospit? Is your troll a Durst Dreamer or a Prospit Dreamer? Or are they both for some reason? I don't suggest this, but if you are a Doom player, why not? Maybe. Durst Prospit...
That may be specific to either Doom players or specifically Mage of Doom. Possibly.
Maybe specifically Mage of Doom. I actually don't know. The Mage class is really mysterious.
Yeah.
But, okay. Yeah, Durst or Prospit. I don't know how to determine this. I've looked all over. I have no idea how to determine this. So...
I mean, I don't know about canon-wise, based on the characters and everything, but it seems like Prospit being the more, like, kinder and, more lenient and everything, based on just how they run their prisons and how they treat other people. And then you've got Durs, how they're just, like, all dicks. So, I mean, I guess you could go on the basis of that, how much of an asshole your character is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be a good example. How much of an asshole's your character?
If you look at canon, I'm not sure, the Prospit Dreamers and the Durst Dreamers, I guess, depending on that too. But that's why I said non-canon wise.
I'm pretty sure Carcat's from CrossFit.
Yeah, and he's a pretty nice guy. I mean, yeah, he yells at everybody.
Pretty
but
nice guy, good guy Carcat.
Good guy Carcat. So, I mean, I guess if you researched into that and saw that most of the non-asshole characters in canon were CrossFit dreamers, and the asshole, quote-unquote, characters were dirt streamers, then I guess you could just base it off that. That'd be the simplest way to do it.
I don't know. I don't know what determines this. Maybe he's right. Maybe it is. Are you a dick? Are you a dick?
Because, I mean, you know, it's like whenever...
Well, we're cutting low on time.
Yeah.
Let's...
yeah.
So, Dirt's a prospect. Simple as that. Do you want a Dirt player or a prospect player? I'm not going to give you something to help you determine this, because I don't know what determines it.
It's not that big of a deal anyway.
Next is quirk. Does your character have a theme? Are they a cat person? Are they... Please don't be a cat person. Are they... Is their theme the ocean? Or, like my troll, is their theme the vastness of space?
Or do they simply just capitalize the letter I in all of their sentences?
Or do they just capitalize the letter I in all their sentences?
You know, it can be from very simple, just capitalizing one letter that normally wouldn't be capitalized, or, you know, things like that. Or they put emphasis on certain words, things like that. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal.
Yeah. You can add little emojis at the end of their sentences,
Yeah.
or... I find the quirk to be one of the hardest parts of banking a troll, in my opinion. I'm not great at twerks. I'm not great at twerks. I'm not very good at quirks. I won't pretend like I am.
I mean,
they're difficult, but just keep in mind to not steal the quirk of a troll that's already being used. Don't try to steal any information from a troll already being used if you can. Well, using canon.
And don't make it too overly complicated.
Don't make it too overly complicated.
None of you know, you only use one letter per paragraph. None of that. Like,
listen, if we have to try to, like, decode what you're saying to understand you...
then it's too much.
It's too much.
Like, we'd rather not have to decipher a new language created by people, because that...
It's just a hassle. And, but regardless of that, that's quirks in a nutshell. That's it.
It's a pretty simple thing.
As far as quirks go, let's go on to a subject attached to that. What is it? The Trollian handle?
Oh, the Trollian. I don't know what they're called.
Trollian username?
Something like the
troll
user
tag. It was a troll tag. That was it.
The troll tags.
I combined troll tag and chum handle.
That are used on Trollian, and the equivalent of the chum handles and pester chum for humans.
Don't take one that's already being used. Obviously, don't take anything that's already being used if you can. But
then, if you find somebody that just so happens to be using, like, say, the same troll tag as your troll or something, because, you know, it happens. It can happen. You can make similar trolls. And
OCs get mixed up.
Don't be an asshole about it. That's just one of the major things. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that either you or the other person is gonna have to change it, but it is what it like. Multiple used people in the real world can end up wanting to use the same username.
Things happen.
But there's no system of this name is already taken for, like, roleplay character stuff. So, you know, I mean, if it happens, it happens. But
anyway, so determining your troll tag, it's pretty simple. In my opinion, just take something that your troll's interested in and combine it with something that, for example, like, has to do with their class. I think, for example,
should I just use my troll?
Sure, use your troll.
So my troll, Nahodin Hovezi, he's based on me. He's my Trollsona. And he's an heir of light, so he naturally just has a lot of luck. That same way as I am. I have a lot of luck. So he's also based on being a gamer, and he's more laid back. He's a low blood, so, you know, he's not very violent, and he's quite lazy for the most part. He's a very, very lazy troll. So his troll handle is the Lucky Lollygagger. Lucky as in, you know, he's lucky, and then Lollygagger is somebody that just tends to do nothing. Simple as that.
It's an interest or a personal trait about him, and something to do with his class. Luck, and light, etc. Simple as that, guys. Okay.
Not too hard.
I mean, now we have the horns. Great. Look, horns are hard to design. I would like to consider myself an artist. Horns are confusing sometimes because you don't want to take the horns off of a cannon troll, and you don't want to make horns that you see all over already. I do suggest, though, drawing inspiration from animal horns. Like, ram horns have many shapes and sizes, goat horns, etc.
Rhinos,
Rhino
any
horns,
sort of creatures that
horns
have
from
different insects.
different
etc.
different different insects. Yeah, you can take horns from all over the place, guys.
Which
and
I tend to do
combine
the
them.
basis of which I mean this makes it easier for me. I don't know about most people, but instead of trying to draw the horns to begin with, I do just simple lines,
Mhm.
and then go from there.
Right.
Like just do like one single line coming from whichever side of their head, and then you add the actual like horn elements to it, and then you can mix and match and everything. That's what I tend to do. That makes it quite easy for me.
I mean, if that works for you, cool.
And I mean, if that helps other people, it helps other people.
Here's another thing about horns, guys.
How
Listen,
many they can have?
Yeah, trolls don't have more than 4 horns. Period. Their horns don't leave their heads either.
Unless you're a mutant, but then if you're a mutant and your horns aren't on your head, it's a clear sign you're a mutant and you're gonna die. That's just how it is. Like, it's
Plain and simple.
But you mean, I mean, I guess you could pull the whole card of different timeline, like how before us was, and they were society was different, and everything. So I guess you could be that smart ass, but for the most part, if you're doing Alternia-based trolls, I guess we should say. The Alternia-based trolls.
That's generally who I expect they're going to be making. But if they want to make a troll on before us, if they can find other role players or other people to write with them, sure.
Or even anything else, because it's also stated that before us wouldn't be the only other version of it.
No, trolls have colony planets.
So I mean, if you're doing the basis of colony planets, the timeline, which timeline you're in, and etc. There's other factors, but if you're doing Act 5 trolls, if you're doing what most people know of trolls, then yes.
Well, regardless,
maximum 4, minimum 2, and don't make them too crazy.
Yeah, don't make them too crazy. Like
don't make them too crazy.
Okay, we're gonna move on to clothing. I'm just gonna start running through the last of these. Clothing, simple. They cannot wear colors that are higher than their blood class. Period. Simple as that. I'll go into. They mostly wear black, gray, neutral colors, and then they wear their symbol on their shirt,
and possibly a wristband,
or adornments of some kind, and that's it. Period.
And it also, depending on how high your blood is, the more decorative you get with your outfits as well.
Fair enough. Higher bloods have more fancy clothing. Lower bloods have simple outfits.
Even with the highest blood colors, such as like Aridin and everything, he still mainly was wearing black with just his blood color. Like even though he was quite the fancy looking guy with a cape and everything.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he still wore mainly black.
He wasn't a rainbow show.
Yeah, it wasn't a rainbow. Which I mean, yeah, there's Peppery, but Peppery's Peppery, and she breaks almost every rule.
She's the heiress, so she can do what she wants.
And she can do whatever the hell she wants.
All right, next point. Hobbies. What's your troll's hobbies? What do they like to do? Please don't make everyone love Faygo. Okay? Faygo's it's a good
religious
drink.
Thing.
I like
Wasn't
Faygo.
it?
I don't even remember if it wasn't a religious thing. It was
Because they had like Faygo seeds that spawned them on bushes.
I still think that's a joke.
But
But that's not canon. I don't agree with that. But don't make everybody like Faygo, please. Seriously, like it's great, it's fine, drink and all, but like, stop.
There's other sodas.
There's other sodas. Okay, if Faygo
sodas.
exists, why doesn't Coke exist? I mean, sure, do it. Anyway, okay.
Just do it.
Give them hobbies. What do they like? What do they do in their spare time? Do they flarp? Do they not?
That's
do
the
they
meat of your character.
hang out at the beach? This is gonna help. This is gonna help you with your personality. Okay. Relationships. Don't make them know any of the canon trolls. Don't make them be in a quadrant with any of the canon trolls.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things you can do.
It's bad. It's Mary Sue.
Yeah, Mary Sue. Which I mean, I guess you could do the basis of they don't know them, but they once saw them or something.
Could they exist in like their city? Maybe.
Because you could totally do the whole thing with the Flarp session where, like, the Scourge Sisters, of course they played with all sorts of trolls. So, I mean, yeah, you could do the whole basis of, yeah, my character plays Flarp, and they know of the Scourge Sisters, they've heard stories of them, or they played with them once, and now they're terrified of them, because it's Vriska and Terezi. They're pretty terrifying trolls.
Okay,
But don't go too over the top.
Next, we're going to go into class specs. Class specs are hard to determine, so I'm going to link below a awesome quiz I use every time I make a fan troll to help me determine their class spec.
It just keeps happening.
Just the test that keeps happening. Um, Listen, just when you take this test, just try to make the decisions you think your troll would make based on their personality, and it'll give you a pretty clear cut depiction of
What the
what your
aspect and the class
what
does.
your aspect in class might be. Remember, I'm always taking requests for class specs. I can try to decipher what they might mean, what they could do, how they would affect their session, etc. Um, Even outside of playing the game, everyone that could potentially play the game has a class spec. It does tiny things in their life. For example, before Vriska became God tier, even before she played the game, she was just really lucky. She was a light player. This is a good example.
She naturally had more luck than other players. And Equius, he was a void player. He just naturally was forgotten, was easy to hide from people, and things like that.
He wasn't noticed.
And John, being, a breath player, the wind would just help him out in certain situations during the whole first act.
Yeah.
Just random things. So
there you go, guys. Okay, next are denizens. Denizens usually listen. If your character plays the game, obviously is not going to be in the same timeline or universe in which the other trolls played the game. So I'm not saying they can't play the game. If you want to make them play the game, play the game. It's fine. This is going to help you put more depth to your character anyway. Classpect, denizen, stuff like that, etc. It's great. Your denizen is usually based on your classpect. Well, it's based more on your aspect than your class. Space players, for example, get echidna. Simple as that. Do some research, you'll find it.
Simple things.
And last but not least, I think, is the star sign. Try to design a star sign. Make it simple, a couple shapes or something, not like the monster symbol or
anything too
the
over
toxic
the top.
symbol or something dumb. Come on, guys.
That'd be more of a
all...
fan kid kind of thing. If you're wanting to use some sort of symbol for something that's already been designed, that's more of a fan kid thing.
But listen, guys, you're all lovely, intelligent, creative people. You can do this. Come on, you can make a simple, great star sign if you want. Actually, there are a bunch of star signs online you can find that are real star signs that exist outside of just the 12 zodiac signs. And you can use one of those. I've done it before.
You can basically make a star sign out of any cluster of stars.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I used the sign for the serpent, which was a little crescent moon with 3 circles.
So technically, you could just go outside one night on a clear night and look at like 5 different stars, draw it, and there you go. You got a star sign. May not look the best, but star signs aren't meant to look the best.
Just don't take one from a canon troll. If you share a star sign with another troll, it means that like you have a close relationship to them or something. Hence why ancestors and the modern troll kids have the same star signs, but they're related. So,
which mean, there's still my theory of how you could technically have a canon sign, but not that many people are going to be happy with it, and you're going to get into a lot of arguments. So just don't do it.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm going to list what we covered below. If you just want the quickie instead of watching the video, that's fine.
Quickie.
Quickie. Anyway, it's been TugAtHumanity and my buddy Duncan, who's been halfway out of the shot the whole time.
Yeah, I mean.
So we love you guys. We love you guys so much. I'm so excited for when the updates are going to start coming again. I'm going to make more videos soon. Leave me suggestions down below if you want me to hear anything specific. I'm always happy to make you guys something. I'm sorry I'm so sporadic in my posting, but I'll do my best, guys.
It's how YouTube is.
It's how YouTube is. I'll see you guys later. Bye.